Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video might be seen and shared. Celine Driver, once again, bringing you another unboxing and review of a watch that is mine. I picked this one up thanks in part to one of my favorite watch buying and selling sites, Chrono24, throwing this watch on my feed. They will send you, well, they won't send you, but when you log on to the app on the phone, they will present watches to you from a brand that you seem to particularly like and search for and purchase. And they did it to me again. I have no resistance when it comes to this kind of thing. I have some resistance, but not a lot. And I picked up another Breitling. This is one I had not seen before. As you saw from the title of the video, this is the Breitling Intruder Reveil. Very nice. I guess it could be considered somewhat of an entry-level Breitling. Nice little watch, really very pretty looking thing, and I found it and worked with the owner of the watch and made the purchase. Now the watch came, I'm going to say this because there's got to be one or two Breitling geeks out there. The watch came without paperwork or without a box. I managed to find the manual for the watch on eBay. Unfortunately, it came from Canada. And the furthest place in Canada away from where I live, which is Vancouver. And it's tied up in Los Angeles right now by the USPS. And between USPS and Canada Post, two of the most inefficient and worthless postal services in the world, this thing's not scheduled to show up until October. This is early September when I'm making this, so I might see this sometime in my lifetime. I also picked up a box off of eBay. It's not for this watch, but I wanted to have a box for the watch anyway, because that's what I do, really. And I picked this the box up. It arrived the same day as the watch, and it's in great shape, as is the watch, which is right in here in the Breitling travel roll kind of thing. And this is the Breitling Intruder Reveil. Beautiful little watch. I really like this. I'm gonna take it off the pad. Put that there. And we have one thing I'm always a big fan of in general is analog digital combination watches, ani-digis, if you will. And this watch really, that's what really sold me on the watch, was the ani-digi element to the watch. As you can see, it is a quartz watch. It is beautifully polished. It really is a beautifully polished watch. It's in great shape. The previous owner, I don't know if he even wore the watch. I think there's a couple of small desktop diver scratches on there. Luckily, it fit. It didn't come with any extra links. It was actually a little big for me, so I took one link out. And yes, I show you this because it does have the dreaded pin and collar bracelet. Now, this one is easier to work with than the Seiko. The collar actually fits in the center of the link, right in there, and holds fairly steadily, and then you just slide the pin through it and press it home, and it stays in place. And I think I took it off of this side. Yeah, it was off of this side. And you can see this is the one I removed and then replaced. You can see the pin is anchored nicely. It is a fingerprint magnet, I have to say. So it had a pin and collar, which everyone knows I really don't like pin and collar bracelets. I would prefer a screw link. But it was easy enough to work with. And I got it sized up. And fortunately, I didn't need to add any links, or else I would have been going back to Breitling to find them. But let's talk about the watch. It is a beautiful sunburst blue dial. He also had another one in gray dial, which actually had the box. No paperwork, just the box. But I wasn't a big fan of the gray. So I went with the blue one. It has a compass style, or a compass bezel. It is bidirectional. And one thing I like about this bidirectional, if you can hear it, it has a click element to it, which a lot of bidirectional bezels, because they're not die bezels, for some reason the manufacturer doesn't feel the need to put a click spring underneath the bezel. Well, Breitling did, which, thank you for that, Breitling. Now, this is not one of their captive bezels. This is not the one that's screwed on. It's actually pressed on. But it's not really meant to be a dive watch, per se. It does have a screw-down crown, as you can see. It does disengage with an audible and tactile pop. It has only one position out, and you can see it does hack the movement. And then screws right back in again. So it does give you some water resistance. It is a swimmable watch. It can get wet. I don't know how good the seals are with respect to diving, but it does have a screw-down case back in addition to the screw-down crown. So I think it probably is fairly solid to get wet. I just wouldn't put a lot of pressure on it. Now, it is a chronograph. It does have these start, stop, and reset pushers. This pusher down here is the pusher that cycles the display at the bottom. Right now it's on the month, day, and date. If you push it once, it switches to a second time zone, which I have on Pacific time. I don't know why, I just picked it. It has an alarm. And it has a stopwatch, and of course you can chronograph if you prefer. And of course, if you push the top button, it activates the chrono. It also stops the chrono. Bottom button resets the chrono, and then you cycle back through to month, day, date. So it has some of the functions of the similar Breitling that I had, the aerospace, but with the more it emphasizes the analog dial and de-emphasizes the digital display, whereas the aerospace has dual digital displays at the top and bottom of the watch face. Everything works really, really well. You do have some micro adjustment on the bracelet for positions. It also has a dive extension, which I'm going to try and pop. There we go. So it does have a wetsuit dive extension, which is very tight and in great shape. And it even has, I guess you could use a tool and re-anchor this pivot point a little higher in the no, actually that's not it. That's actually for the fold over. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's for the fold over, to hold the fold over down, because it has little protrusions on the underside and they lock into the holder. So never mind, that was not a way of re-anchoring this side of the bracelet. So you can see, I think you can see why I like this watch. I really do. I think Breitling does some of the best finished work in out there. Even on their sport watches, this thing is finished beautifully. And as you can see on my 7¼ inch wrist, this thing fits very nicely. And the down the barrel shot, you can see you got plenty of room on the top of the wrist. You can access all the pushers very easily. I'd say this watch could be worn due to its case size and lug-to-lug measurement. This thing could be worn by someone down to a 6¼ inch wrist relatively easily. I think 6¼ is probably the bottom end. 6.5 and above, definitely. Although you probably want to get more links if you're going above 7¼ like mine. I guess this was sized for a 7.5 inch wrist because of that one link that I took out. So be careful if you're going to buy these things on the secondary market. Make sure you can either get extra links or the extra links comes with the watch itself. But I do have my sheet of facts here, so I can go over the particulars of the watch with you or for you. This is the Breitling Intruder Reveil. And they spell Reveil Reveil instead of Eal. I don't know why. Maybe it's a French thing. Swiss thing, French thing. Model number is A51035. It is a stainless steel, 316L stainless steel case and bracelet. Inside, that you can't see obviously, is the Breitling Caliber 51 quartz movement. It is not a super quartz. It is not COSC. But, you know, COSC on a quartz, I know Breitling does COSC, COSC certification on their quartz watches. I have a few. This is not one of them. This is listed as a mineral crystal, which, given the price point of this watch, I mean, this watch is not cheap. It is a 4-figure watch, and that's my one nitpick on this watch is Breitling on a 4-figure watch puts a mineral crystal on. Now this crystal is in great shape, or I wouldn't have bought it. But I think at this price point, Breitling, considering what you charge for your watches, mineral crystal should be as far away from your manufacturing facility as possible. It is a bidirectional bezel, as you see. It is a 120 click bidirectional bezel in steel. And as I showed you, the digital display gives you the functions of a chronograph, a second time zone, an alarm function, and day, month, and date function, which you can see here. It is a 41 millimeter case. So it's a little, my sweet spot is 42 to 44. 41 is a little small, but definitely wearable, as you saw in the wrist shot, for me. It's only 12 millimeters thick, so this is definitely a watch that can be worn under a long sleeve. Not a dress watch, obviously, but a business watch. You could wear it, at work. You could wear it hiking or swimming. It's a great all-arounder. It's a great grab-and-go watch, and that's one of the reasons I bought it. 20 millimeter lug width and 47.3 millimeters on the tip-to-tip. And you can see the bracelet folds right down from the watch. It doesn't stick out like this. It folds away very nicely and is very comfortable to wear. It is 100 meters water resistant. So as I said, a swimmable watch. Not a watch I would take diving unless it's a very shallow dive. It's not really meant to be a dive watch per se. I mean, I guess you could point the north at the minute and sort of track the number of minutes you're underwater, but that's not really the function of this watch. And it has what they call the professional style bracelet with a pin and collar keeper system. I prefer screws, but I guess pin and collar works good enough. I mean, how often do you have to adjust the watch size? It's a set and forget thing, no matter what you're doing, really. So had to deal with it for a few minutes. Got it done. It wasn't as difficult as say a Seiko or a Grand Seiko pin and collar, which is a royal pain in the butt. So it's all good. You just live with it, move forward. Anyway, I am going to wear the hell out of this watch. I really like it. I love the polish. I love the watch face, the functionality. Big numbers, easy to read. Easy to read hands. Has a chronograph if I need it. And hey, it's a Breitling. I do love my Breitlings. Yes, I do. Anyway, I hope you love this Breitling, and I hope you found this video to be entertaining, informative, and useful. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. That does help with those YouTube search algorithms, so it does help the channel out. If you would be so kind as to click that thumbs up button, it does help. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to troll me, or try to anyway, or you're going to leave links to bad places on the internet, I'm simply going to delete the comment and block the commenter. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Please feel free to watch as many videos as you'd like. All I ask in return is please click that subscribe button, that red subscribe button down below. Don't forget to click the bell icon too, so that when I upload new content or I start a live stream, you will be alerted. As I say at the end of all my videos, it is a crazy old world out there. It is not getting any less crazy, so please be careful out there. Stay safe, be well. I'll see you soon.